if they ain't stopped after 50, what make you think we going to stop at 5? Even a marriage that honors God is not problem-free. I told you last year how my daddy, while dying, put this thing in perspective for me. Remember, I told you about the lamb chops? Some of you. My daddy was dying of pancreatic cancer, so he had a bad digestive system, but he was dying, so the doctor said, fix him anything he wants. Let him eat whatever he asks for. So I asked Daddy, I was cooking for him every day. I said, what you want? He said, some lamb chops. So I went to the freezer. They had lamb chops in the freezer. Now, my mother has a pacemaker. So I couldn't, they didn't own a microwave because of the pacemaker. So I had to wait for the lamb chops to thaw. And then bake them. No fried, bake them. They ate dinner at 4:30. Lamb chops weren't ready. My mother came through the kitchen fussing. You know, we normally eat at 4:30 around here. But I guess ain't nobody going to eat nothing today because ain't nothing ready today. You know, when you get a certain age, you try to kill them. So the next day, I made sure dinner was ready at 4:20. My mother didn't wake up from her nap till 5:15. And didn't say a word. I kept waiting for an I'm sorry or something. That night, my father was on OxyContin. Took it 7 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 11 o'clock at night. I took him his OxyContin in. And he said, what's wrong with you? I said, nothing. He said, boy, I've known you all your life. What's wrong with you? I said, did you hear Mama fussing at me yesterday about them lamb chops and dinner not being ready? He said, yeah, I heard it. I said, Daddy, today I made sure I had dinner ready on time. She didn't even get up to 5:20 and she ain't say a word. He scratched. He said, you see what I've been putting up with for 63 years? Even a marriage that honors God is not problem free. Turn to your neighbor and say, even a marriage that honors God is not problem free. My parents had a marriage that honored God, but even a marriage that honors God is not problem free. Manoah and his wife had problems, and every marriage has problems. But when you read this narrative in its entirety in chapter 13, what you discover is that in spite of the problems, a marriage that honors God is a marriage where both the husband and the wife are in a relationship with God. Manoah prays and his wife prays. The relationship is shown by their giving and by their living. The offering they make to God, the sacrifice they make for God, and the life they live before God shows that they are both in a relationship with God. I am thankful, a part of the Thankful 30, to have seen a mother and a father who prayed together every day. They both had a relationship with God. They taught us how to give to God, how to tithe. They taught us how to live before God. And with my in-laws, it was the same thing. The night my mother-in-law joined this congregation, I was shocked. She used to come to the 6 o'clock and sit over there in that corner where she's sitting right now. And I looked up and she's around on the front row where Bentley is. And I thought, what's wrong? And they said she's joining. I thought she was a lifetime member of Carter Temple CME Church. I used to get a kick out of teasing with the CME, the Colored Methodist Episcopal. And when I saw that she had moved from her regular seat to the new member pew, I went over to shake her hand. And I'm busy saying, God bless you. She's busy saying to me, Paul's going to join too, but he has to finish up his work with his Sunday school class at Carter Temple. He had been teaching there forever because he had a relationship with God, and his responsibilities and what he was giving to God did not allow him to come to Trinity right away. They both had a relationship with God made manifest both in their prayer life, their praying, their giving, and their living. And then when you look down at the wisdom of the wife in verse 22 through 24, you will see the third thing this text teaches me about a marriage that honors God. The ultimate thing about a marriage that honors God is that it is a marriage that God blesses unexpectedly. If you notice and read this narrative carefully, they hadn't been praying for a child like Hannah. They hadn't been praying for a child like Zechariah. And they hadn't been praying or asking like Abraham. God just blessed them unexpectedly. First, he blesses them with his presence. God shows up unexpectedly. And if there is one thing that the Bible teaches over and over again that every believer knows, it is what? Whenever God shows up, what? God shows out. He blessed them with his presence. He blessed them with his promise. Look at verse 3. You shall conceive and you shall bear a son. And then he blessed them with his provision. He announced great things. He promised with his mysterious name a way out of no way, and a son named Samson, who would be one of Israel's greatest judges. The Lord gave the wife a vision. Then the Lord confirmed with the husband the same vision. And then the Lord made the provision, because the Lord never gives you a vision without making the provision. And let me help somebody who has gotten stuck by trying to see up ahead where only God can see. Stop looking that way. Turn around and look back the other way and see the way over which the Lord has already brought you. See how the Lord has already blessed you with his presence. See how the Lord has already blessed you with his promise. See how the Lord has already blessed you with his provision. All I have needed, God's hand has provided. And when you look back, say thank you. I thank you. Lord, I thank you for all you've done for me. Sometimes we look back and we start talking about, look what I did. No. Now, let's be honest about it. You're not here tonight because you're cute, because you're intelligent, because you knew the right people and you made the right connections and you No. You're only here tonight because the Lord brought you from a mighty long way. The Lord brought you from where you were to where you are tonight. If it hadn't been for the Lord on your side, you wouldn't be. So you ought to just take some time out right now and say, Lord, I thank you for all you've done. I thank you for your grace. I thank you for your mercy. I thank you for your love. Stand to your feet tonight. Stand to your feet tonight. Doors of the church are open. I thank you. If you're here tonight as the deacons take their position and you don't have a church home, we extend the invitation to you tonight. If you're here tonight and you don't have a personal relationship with a God who surprises you with his presence, who blesses you with his promise, and then who gives you his provision, come on tonight. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. I thank you. I praise you. You've been talking to your neighbor. Turn back to your neighbor. God, come on, encourage him. Encourage him. Here comes the family this side. God bless you. Encourage them. Encourage them. If you've been talking to your neighbor, you don't know your neighbor's name, turn back to him and say, what's your name? Ask him your name. Say, where's your church? If they say St. James, say St. James where? Mississippi or here? Find out the pastor. And they say, God bless you, if they have a church home. If they don't, say, here's a deacon right here. Come on, you can go tonight. Somebody else is coming. God bless you. Encourage him. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. For all you've done for me. For me. Somebody else is coming. Another brother. I just can't tell it all. For me, without your love, mercy, and goodness, I would fall. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for all you've done. Oh, Lord, I thank you. Oh, Lord, I thank you. When I was sin sick, you died. Set me free. I praise you. I magnify